Hello, I'm Adam Paul Morgan. Thank you for clicking on to what is my thoughts of this Lagavulin single malt 16-year-old malt Scotch whisky. Now, I've probably pronounced the name wrong. I do apologise to all the proper whisky drinkers out there, and I do apologise once again to all the proper whisky drinkers out there that this is the glass I will be using for my little thoughts on the whisky. Now, I don't like to see this as a review because many people have a different taste to all sorts of things. Like myself, I will never eat piccalilli. Why? Don't like the look of it. But people might not want whiskey. But there we go. That's the way it goes. But this particular box here, whiskey in the bottle, was purchased from a particular shopping website that sounds quite like a rainforest, and of course a lot of people can leave comments on that website, and a lot what I was reading is that if you purchase this from that website you don't actually get that box there, which is very nice, very strong, and very good at storing the whiskey in the back of the cupboard when you are not drinking it, which is all very nice. But I'm going to say I ordered it from that particular website and I did manage to get the box. But if you were thinking of buying any whiskey and you was a bit unsure, the best thing to do is to go into a proper whiskey shop and talk to someone face to face, and they will give you all the details that they need. I've watched many videos on not just this whiskey, on all sorts of whiskies, drinks, foods, anything really, and what people don't really understand is particularly when doing things like this, it's just that person's opinion. It doesn't mean it's gospel. To be honest with you, I'm just going to give you my opinion. I'm not going to do a full lowdown review on a particular whiskey as such. Oh, that's good. It's much more. It's funny how to describe it, with the whiskey as such. Now, I'm just going to show you that again a bit closer to the microphone. Listen to this. That was a beautiful sound the way the whiskey comes out of the bottle there. I can get used to that. Now, I'll just show you, I'll do up close to this. This is obviously what I'm reviewing, and this is sort of your bells. And if you could just show you the colours and differences there between the two. As you can see, the bells is much lighter, and looking at that, it does look a bit weaker, just to compare the two there. And the Lagavulin is much more darker and looks much more nicer. Oh, that is good. That is good stuff. Now, of course, the temptation is just to neck it and drink it all, but that would just take the point away of it. I'm slurring my words already, and that's the first sip I've had. This bottle, I paid £50 for that, which to some people might not necessarily be a lot of money, but for me, yeah, that's quite a lot of money. And if you look at my channel, I do a lot of video games. That's a video game, and I don't want to rush that. So, like this, I don't particularly want to rush this particularly drink down. Now, once these bottles are open, apparently, they can last up to 100 years. They're not going to last up. That's not going to last 100 years. I'll give it to the end of the week. But one thing you can do with this is, in order to take that sharpness away, and I've just took a sip of this, and I don't really feel any sharpness to it. Particularly around the smell of it or the sort of taste of it, but that's just me. But you can put a tiny drop of water in just to take that sharpness away. But really, why the f would you want to do that? Honestly, why would you want to do that? But yeah, I'm not a big whiskey drinker at all. To be honest with you, I've normally just drank this here because it's in the supermarket at a very reasonable price. But to get a sort of flavours, the smoothness from them, fork out that little extra couple of pounds or dollars or what have you, and get yourself a good whiskey. There you go, because you never know when it will be needed. And to be honest with you, I'm hoping this will last me all the way till the end of the week. But my wife said it's got to last me till Christmas. But one thing about this particular whiskey and why I purchased it had absolutely nothing to do with Ron Swanson in Parks and Recreation. But one of the reasons Most people are going to think the reason I bought this particular whiskey was because of a fictional character in a popular TV programme. No, but the way it was has been advertised as being one of the good whiskies. And all you've got to do research into these is just to find out, see what people have written. You're probably looking at this to find out this, but no, that's not necessarily the case, to be honest with you. Particularly this, because you cannot taste this whiskey right now that I'm tasting. Go to a whiskey shop. Go to a proper whiskey shop and see if they do tasting sessions. Go to one of them. It might cost some money in order to do that, but at least you get to sort of experience the range of whiskies and scotches and I suppose all sorts of whiskies from all over the world to try out. And of course, at the end of the day, enjoy it, but don't be a dick when drinking. Have a good one. Now, I've got to edit this.